What's going on, everyone? So yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers managed to beat the Toronto Raptors, adding a new win streak to the Lakers' already excellent resume thus far. Right, the last 2 months they have been fantastic. They had that one loss to the Indiana Pacers, which is fine. You're on the road trip, played that team for the second time in 4 games, 5 days. Just played a lot of miles. It's acceptable to take it out. Right, if you can go 5-1 on this road trip, that would be A1. The Lakers are now 43-33 on the season. They have 43 wins. I originally, 2 months ago, was hopeful the Lakers could get to 45 wins. Now I think that, they could potentially blow past that. And it's crazy. They are still the ninth seed in the Western Conference. You look at the seeding, Lakers with being 10 games over 500. 43 wins already. In previous years, 43 wins got you the 7th, 8th seed. You're talking about them being 10 wins over 500 and are the ninth seed right now. That is crazy. Look, the Lakers still have a long way to go. Right, you got 6 games left. In my opinion, you got to go 5-1 in these next 6 games. The Lakers are only a game and a half behind Phoenix Suns and Sacramento Kings. They're only 2.5 games back of the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, all of these teams could potentially fall. Some of these teams, some various combinations, right? Phoenix has a ridiculously tough schedule. The Kings have a tough slate of games coming up. The Pelicans, without Brandon Ingram, they have a couple tough games. And Dallas has an easier schedule, but they still have a couple games that they could easily drop, take an L on. Now, realistically, I wouldn't get my hopes up on that 5th or 6th seed. Is it still possible? Technically, yes, right? Statistically, yes, they could get there. Realistically, you have Dallas, Sacramento, right? 2 teams ahead of you that have the tiebreakers over you. The Lakers would have the tiebreaker over the Pelicans for the last game of the season. Pelicans could very well drop, and if you win that game against the Pelicans, who knows? That could be the game that actually allows you to overtake. It could come down to that final game for those 2 teams. That's a real possibility. And then Phoenix, you have the tiebreaker over. Another key importance is if Sacramento, the Phoenix Suns, and the Los Angeles Lakers all finish with the same record, then it goes to divisions. And the Lakers, because they lost 4 straight games to the Sacramento Kings, they would actually fall to last between those teams. So they'd actually end up in the 9th seed. Something to keep in mind, something that you don't want to see the Lakers do. So the Lakers, look, 1 game at a time at this point. 6 games left. You have to win the games that you're supposed to win. You got the one yesterday against Toronto. Great, beautiful, love it. Well, now you got a game against the Washington Wizards that you need to handle business in. You handle the business in this game, then you got that Memphis Grizzlies game later on down the road. That's another real game that is very winnable. You should win that game. And then you have 4 games that are going to be tough, right? Especially that Cavs and Timberwolves game. Because not only are they both excellent teams, but beyond that, you play them back to back. If that was spread out, I would actually be pretty confident that the Lakers win both of those games, especially how good they've been against the top teams in the league this year. They actually are number 1 in that department. So if it wasn't a back-to-back, I actually think the Lakers win both of them, right? Can the Lakers still win both of them? Absolutely, right? You're at home. It's very possible, but it's tough. It's another thing that is very tough. And I've had them slated to lose one of those games. If you remember, if you followed along, I said that I thought they would lose 3 games down the stretch, which were the Milwaukee Bucks, which they actually ended up winning, and they were able to prove me wrong, which I love. I love that. The Indiana Pacers was the other one, which that one I was right on. And then I said one of the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? So we'll see how that goes. I would absolutely love to be wrong again, right? But I think if the Lakers go in that final 13-game stretch that I spoke on when I was doing my prediction, if you could go 11-2 down that stretch, I think the Lakers are in good shape. you have to trust the process. I still believe to an extent the Lakers control their destiny, right? You can't control the other teams and what they do, but they're going to lose games. Some of these teams still play each other. Some of these teams are going at. So if the Lakers handle business and win all their games, guess what? Some of these other teams, just by the fact that they have to play each other, are going to end up dropping a game or two, right? So these are all things that are in the Lakers' benefit, right? Again, the Lakers end up playing the Pelicans, right? Like you see these matchups and you go, okay, Lakers handle business during the stretch. Again, like I said, one game at a time. You handle this one game at a time. You got the Washington Wizards game, and then you got a couple days to regroup, kind of get yourself back in order, get yourself together, and then you jump into that back-to-back. You win those back-to-backs, or at least one of them, and you're in good shape, right? All of a sudden, you got that last 3-game stretch, and we're good. Pulling a team, Sacramento, for example. They got the Knicks and the Celtics. That's 2 games that they might lose both of those games. Then you have the Thunder, the Pelicans, and the Suns. They do have the Nets and the Blazers, but the Thunder, the Pelicans, and the Suns are 3 games that Sacramento can absolutely lose, right? The Pelicans and the Suns both desperately need those wins. Again, these teams play each other. So they're going to duke it out. Any of those teams lose, it's in our favor. But if I'm being honest, I'd rather the Pelicans beat the Kings, and then the Suns and the Kings, I care less about whichever team loses. The only reason I'd want the Pelicans to beat the Kings is just because I think it'll be easier to catch the Kings than it will be the Pelicans, right? But you again, these teams play each other. So you're in good shape. You just have to do your job. Hold up your end of the bargain. Hold up your end of the deal and trust the cards to fall where they may, right? I fully trust this team. I fully believe in this team wholeheartedly. I think this team has all the potential in the world. I think this team can absolutely win an NBA championship. I mean, since the new year, they've been a top 5 team in the league, right? Just even in the last 2 months, they're 19-8, right? Like the Lakers are in really good shape. The one of the top offensive teams. They're like second in efficiency. They're number 1 in total points for starting units. They're like historically great from a starting unit standpoint. Right? This Lakers team has all the pieces, starting to get Gabe Vincent back. Jared Vanderbilt's right around the corner, right? Like, depending on how this shapes up, and if you can go on a deep playoff run, you could end up getting Christian Wood back, right? And he could be a factor. He could be a big help. He could be a guy, especially depending on the matchup, could end up playing a big role, right? You play, say, the Thunder in the second round or something like that, right? Like Christian Wood would match up great in that matchup, right? And his versatility. So, I mean, the Lakers are gearing. They're picking it up. They're building that momentum right at the perfect time, right? They're getting pieces and getting healthy right at the perfect time. Just, again, trust the process, and I believe that the Lakers will be in the 7th, 8th seed. You never know. Could you get lucky and stumble your way into the 6th? It's always possible. It is. It's always possible, right? Chances are all these teams, like the Lakers, if they win, let's say, because they got 6 games, so 5 out of the next 6, right? That would put them at 48 wins, which would put them at 14 games over 500. There's not going to be 4 other teams ahead of them that are going to finish 14 games over 500. I mean, there's not even that many teams ahead of them right now that are 14 games over 500. You have the Pelicans and the Mavs, right, that are 14 games over 500, right? But the Kings and the Suns aren't. And they're probably not going to finish 14 games over 5. So the Lakers can do their job, handle business, go win this game. If they sweep the board, I have zero doubt that they end up being that 7th, 8th seed, maybe even the 6th seed at that point. If they lose 1 game, I'm very confident. If they lose 2 games, it's a little rough. I still believe that they can, but you're counting on another team to lose essentially at that point 4 or 5 games, which is tough, right? Like, let's say the Lakers lose 2 more games, right? I mean, you're talking you'd need Sacramento to lose essentially 4 more games. That's tough. Or 5, actually 5, because you got to finish one more game better. Like, that's tough, right? Even same thing with Phoenix, right? You could have Phoenix lose 4 more games and then you guys finish the same record and then they drop. Okay, sure. So the Lakers have very to no really margin of error. Got to get the job done. But I believe in them. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do they got to feel? Where do you think the Lakers land? Where do you think they end up falling? Are you confident that the Lakers get into that 7th or 8th? Do you have concerns that they don't? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.